Fried chicken is so delicious when it's cooked properly, brown and crispy on the outside, juicy and tender on the inside. Let's learn how to do it. It's not hard to make fried chicken. There are in fact very few ingredients that you need, but you do need just a little bit of time, because the first step I'm going to do is take my chicken pieces and I'm going to marinate them in some buttermilk. So just using a zipper sealable bag, I'm going to put the chicken into this bag and then pour buttermilk on top. The reason I like to use buttermilk is because buttermilk's acidic, so it actually helps to tenderize the chicken a little bit. Plus, it's thick and acts as a great glue for the breading. So seal that bag up, seal it well. If you want to be extra careful, double bag it. Marinate the chicken, massage that buttermilk into it a little bit, and then put this in the fridge for a couple hours or overnight. Now, some people also like to put some hot sauce into the buttermilk at this stage. That gives it just a little more zip and zing, a little more flavor. So this goes into the fridge. Now I have some here that we have already marinated. So at this stage, that's ready to go into the flour coating. So to make the flour coating, we're going to take another zipper sealable bag. I'm going to mix these ingredients together. So some all-purpose flour. And then what's really important is that we season this flour, because this is the only time the chicken actually gets seasoned. So salt goes in, some paprika, and some cayenne pepper. So now you have your chicken marinating in the buttermilk. You have your flour coating, which is seasoned nicely. All you have to think about is, what are you going to fry the chicken in? Now that means two things: what kind of fat and what kind of vessel. I'm using a cast iron pot here because cast iron gets hot, stays hot, so it helps to maintain the temperature of the fat inside. And what fat did I put inside? Well, I use shortening. I like shortening because it's relatively odorless, and of course when you're frying chicken, your house is going to smell like fried chicken. Relatively odorless, and it's solid at room temperature, so when you're finished frying your chicken and you let it cool, it's much easier to dispose of. And you want your shortening to be at about 350 degrees, but if you don't have a deep fat frying thermometer or a candy thermometer, which most of us don't, how do you figure it out? Well, here's one tip. You can take the end of a wooden spoon and put that into the oil. After about 10 seconds, you should see some bubbles forming around the bottom of that spoon. You want that shortening to be at the right temperature, because if it's too low, that flour on the outside will just absorb that oil and it'll be greasy chicken instead of crispy fried chicken. So let's start breading our chicken. Now we're just going to do about 4 pieces at a time. We don't want to overcrowd that flour bag. Once they're inside, seal that bag up and shake them around to make them evenly coated. And let's test our oil for a second time. This time to do that, I'm just going to take one of the chicken wings and dip just the edge of the wing into the oil. I want to see it do exactly what it just did and start to fry right away. Now, whenever you put food into any kind of vessel, you're going to bring the temperature down a little bit because the food's cold. So make sure your shortening comes right back to temperature. You should see it spinning around. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit to maintain that temperature, and I'm going to cover it with a lid for the first 5 or 10 minutes. Now what this does, of course, it helps the splatter in your kitchen, but it also creates steam on the top half of this pan, so that allows the top of the chicken to sort of cook. I haven't submerged the chicken in the shortening, you see. There's only about 1 inch of shortening here, so the rest of the chicken on the top of the oil is getting cooked with steam. So I've had this on medium heat for about 8 to 10 minutes, and we're going to turn it over now to do the other side. Now is when we finish with our lid. We're going to flip these over. They should start to be, oh, they look delicious. They're looking brown, beautiful here. We're going to flip the other side. We're going to cover it with a splatter guard just to protect our stovetop area and to protect you, of course, as well. And we're going to let it cook for another 10 minutes. Then it'll be cooked through. We'll be ready to take it out and get ready to eat it. So another 10 minutes in the pot there. We want to take a look and make sure our chicken is done. Of course, visually, it should look brown and beautiful. I'm gonna take some pieces that I know are finished out of here and place them onto a cookie sheet with a cooling rack here. I'm using a board that has a fat away mat that elevates the chicken off the bottom. If you just put it onto paper towels, then you're gonna have a soggy underside to the chicken. You don't want that. Look how beautiful this looks. The only piece that I want to make sure is cooked all the way through is that big chicken breast. I'm going to just push on it. I need it to feel firm to the touch, sort of like your hand when it's taut like this. Now it's time to fry your next batch of chicken. I would put this into an oven at 170 degrees to keep it warm while you finish all the chicken that you're going to fry and then get ready to enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of the basics, click over here. If you'd like to see everything I used today, click over here. And if you have any comments or suggestions for more basics, put them in the comments section right below.